Yes, it is hot outside, but that doesn't mean there aren't things to do during the summer. In our final installment of our summer entertainment guide, we're giving you the best events to attend in H-Town. From world-class musicians to once-in-a-lifetime plays, writer Olivia Flores Alvarez and Hey Houston newsletter editor Brooke Lewis join me to get you ready to take full advantage of the best summer events in Houston. It's Thursday, June 22nd. I'm Raheel Ramzanali, and here's what Houston's talking about. Olivia, Brooke, how's everybody doing? I know it's hot outside, all right? It is burning up, but how's everybody doing? Olivia, you first. How are you?
I'm good. I'm inside. So Houston may be sizzling out there, but yeah, I'm inside in air conditioning, so I'm okay. I'm a Houstonian, so this has been going on forever. Yeah, we're used to it.
I'm used to it, and I also went to the pool last night, so I'm feeling really good today. Okay,
good. A little rejuvenated from the heat.
Yes. I highly recommend doing an evening swim to just cool off because it's been way, way too hot.
Okay, so before we get to our best summer events to attend in Houston, I was inspired by reading Hey Houston. I love your question about what have you been doing to keep cool this summer? So we already got yours. You got your Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I love that. You made the walk for some reason to H-E-B, but I like that. So Olivia, what have you been doing to keep cool this summer?
I've actually switched my functioning hours. So I am not functioning between like 11 and 3. So anything happens at my house happens early in the morning, and then it happens after 4 or 5 o'clock. So that whole middle of the day time is really sitting in the dark in my pool house, not doing laundry, not washing clothes, trying to just be still.
I like that. New working hours.
But it is getting hotter and hotter and hotter, yes.
It is. All right, so let's jump into it. It is hot, but there's still a lot of things to do around the city. So I want to start with you, Olivia. What should we do to enjoy Houston in the summer?
One thing you've got to do is visit the MFA. Think of it as your artistic cooling center. The Museum of Fine Arts Houston is under the guidance of Gary Tintereau, who's their director, and he's just world class. He's been able to attract some world class exhibits, big time headline exhibits, those blockbuster exhibits that usually only make it to New York and Paris. They're coming to Houston, and we've got a couple that are coming up now. But what I love about Museum of Fine Arts Houston is that they have so many kinds of programming. So they'll have kids programming, they'll have visual arts that you can go and see. They've got different campuses. They've got beautiful facilities. They've got the most wonderful film department, though. And one of the films that's coming up there is Texas Tenor, the Illinois Jacquet story, which is a documentary about a Houston saxophonist who kind of developed, along with a couple of other Texas musicians, that Texas tenor sound, which was a rich, gravelly sound that was really great. And this is a 1992 documentary, and it was by Arthur Elgort. Illinois Jacquet came to worldwide attention when he soloed on Lionel Hampton's 1942 recording of Flying Home. And that was just the beginning for him. He had a wonderful long career and just made a huge mark on the music industry as a whole and put Texas saxophonist on the world stage. That is on June 23rd. Immediately following that, though, on June 24th, is another music documentary called Max Roach, The Drum Also Waltzes. And that's a brand new documentary by Samuel Pollard and Ben Shapiro. And it was really difficult in big band days to have a jazz drummer as sort of your main featured musician, as a frontman for all intents and purposes. And Max Roach was able to do that. But more than that, he was a composer, he was an activist, he was just a great musician that did something different and did it so wonderfully that it's worth our attention. So both those films are over at MFA, June 23rd and June 24th. And then the exhibit that's over at MFA right now that I think we really need to see is Impressionist and Post-Impressionist Masterpieces, which comes to Houston from the Henry and Rose Perlman Foundation. these are your big hitters. This is Cezanne, Gauguin, Van Gogh, Manet, all the big time guys, right? And they're grouped according to some themes, and you get to see really great artists. You get to see Gauguin's move from France to Tahiti and how his art developed along the way. You get to see Cezanne and the avant-garde develop. It's just really an inspiring exhibit, and you get to see these big guys together that it's really rare for us to be able to see individually. So MFA knocked it out of the park this summer, I think, with this exhibit.
Okay, Olivia, I like that. A lot of culture, and the biggest thing, as you mentioned, inside, air conditioned. So I love that. Brooke, what do you got for us? What's your first recommendation?
Yes. So I also want to add that the Museum of Fine Arts is free on Thursday. So definitely check it out. That's just like a pro tip for anybody new to Houston. My recommendation is going to the water wall. So I know it's hot, but I feel like the water wall is a really Houston. It's on when you subscribe to Hey Houston, you'll see that it's a part of the summer bucket list. And I feel like you can't really come to Houston without going to the water wall. It's really refreshing. I suggest going during off hours because it can get really packed on the weekends. So it's open, honestly, all day, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. So go either early in the morning, start your day off there before the crowd comes, or honestly, end your day at the water wall when it gets, maybe it's a nice little sunset. And you can kind of hang out. Honestly, it's perfect for family, a friend outing, a date night. I think it's a really cool spot in Houston that can be packed, but if you go at the right hours, it's a cool spot.
I like that. And the best part about being at the water wall, just like when you were a kid, you would just look up and it feels like you're flying.
Yes.
That's still so much fun to do. That's one of my favorite things in Houston. And it's a good way to cool down after a hot summer day. All right, Olivia, let's get your next one. What do you got for us?
This is one of my favorites. I used to think of Stages Theater as the little theater that could, because they had great programming, but they were a smaller facility. That's no longer true, of course. They have a new facility. They've got 2 stages. They've got wonderful programming that goes on, lots of original stuff. And this is something called Thunder Knocking on the Door. So the Grammy Award-winning musician, Keb Mo, wrote the music for this. It's a story of a family that makes a kind of a Faustian deal with the devil. And it's part of a family story. It's part of a love story. This is a universal story about families and what you do to better yourself and to pull your family ahead, kind of thing. And what are you willing to give up to get what you want? Blues throughout, that's wonderful. Of course, Keb Mo is a great musician, and it's all written by him. And Thunder Knocking on the Door is just a powerful show that folks in Houston need to see. The great thing about Stages is also that they do lots of alternative programming, and they have a student matinee for this show. This is not by any means a student show, but it's a student matinee on June 30th, which is a Friday at 10 a.m. So you can take teenagers to go see this if you want for $11.
Nice.
That's great. And throughout the rest of the week, Wednesday through Sunday, prices range around $30-ish, but it's always worth it.
Really cool. That's a really good recommendation. Brooke, what do you got for us now?
Yeah. So my next rec is a place that I honestly love. I feel like when I go there, it just feels like summer. Going to Cynthia Wood's Mitchell Pavilion out in the Woodlands. So I know it's a little bit of a trip to go to the Woodlands, but I promise you guys, it's worth the trip to go out there. They have so many concerts at Cynthia Wood's Mitchell Pavilion, and I love it because it's such a diverse range. I've seen Gwen Stefani there, and then last summer for my birthday weekend, I got to see Kirk Franklin and Maverick City, which is like a gospel group. So that's what I'm talking about when I say range. And like this summer, it's even more range. Like you can go and see TLC and Shaggy coming up soon. And then you can also see Shania Twain. So it has something for everybody. And the seats are usually affordable, especially if you get lawn seats. I think getting the lawn seats is honestly the best. You can just hang out there, grab a blanket, and just jam out to your favorite artists underneath the Texas sun. So I highly recommend Cynthia Wood's Mitchell Pavilion.
Yeah, and then the walk from the parking lot to the actual venue, like it just gets you in a mood, right? Like it makes you just appreciate it. Usually the sun is just about to set, so you get a nice sunset as well. I love that. It's such a great venue. It sounds good. The acoustics are awesome. And as you mentioned, there's so many artists coming there. So that's a really good way to get going. And it's cool in there. For what, I don't know how they do it. The fans, I don't know if it's just everyone's dancing. So there's like a nice wind or something, but it's always cool in there no matter how hot it is that day. So I like that recommendation.
Yes. No, I remember last summer like just dancing honestly the whole time during this like Kirk Franklin Maverick City concert. It was so long, but none of us wanted to stop, like sit down. Everybody was just standing up. And I think it's just because there's something that hits when you get to Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it really is just a cool place.
Hey, CityCast Houston, it's Michael Ziviak. While CityCast Houston works hard every day to connect you with the stories that matter most, I'm working in the background making sure that our listeners are connecting with the best that Houston has to offer. So what does that look like? It means meeting with the people who make Houston what it is. The business owners, the stakeholders, the decision makers, the Houstonians who put together those food festivals you enjoy, the concerts you attend, the exhibits you can't miss, and who make those candles your mom can't stop talking about. If this sounds like you, let me help you get your message out to the city's best audience with an ad right here on the CityCast Houston podcast and on our sister daily newsletter, Hey Houston. Shoot me an email at ads@citycast.fm and let's connect.
Dave Attell is a stand-up comedian, actor, and writer. He's best known as the host of Comedy Central's Insomniac with Dave Attell, and for his work on Life and Beth, Bumping Mics, HBO's Crashing, and more. On November 17th, you'll be able to catch him live at Buckhead Theater. So come see why he was named one of the 25 funniest people in America by Entertainment Weekly magazine. Tickets are available now at livenation.com.
All right, Olivia, what do you got for us next?
George Lopez.
Okay.
George Lopez is coming to Sugar Land, and he's going to be there June 25th. I think right now, George Lopez is in a class with D.L. Hughley, Cat Williams, Wanda Sykes. You know, George Lopez, along with those other comics, is in a place in his career where he can say whatever he wants. So he's really bringing you his funny. You know, he's not trying to censor or make sure that, you know, Netflix is going to love this or, you know, any of that kind of stuff. He's just telling you what he thinks is funny these days, no matter what it is. He's on his game and he's not afraid to muck it up a little bit. You know, he will stir it up and along with Wanda Sykes, you know, will say, you know, I just don't give a damn. I'm going to tell you the truth, and this is what it is. And I just really love him. And he's going to be out of Sugar Land. Again, a little bit of a trek, you know, a little bit of a trek to go out and see him a little further out, but really worth it.
Yeah, and we got to give it up. Smart Financial has done a good job of bringing in some really big names, whether it be in comedy, music, shows in general. Like they've done such a good job of becoming one of the marquee events around here in the Houston area.
For sure. And Dave Chappelle is coming to Houston on July 1st. Another really just like, I feel like no holds barred comedian. Like you don't know what you're going to get with him, but it's always just like, I feel like a fresh, hot take. So he's coming to the Toyota Center. So just wanted to add that on for the people who love comedy.
Yeah, it's crazy. When a comedian can sell out Toyota Center, it is nuts. Like that is such a big venue. I saw Aziz Ansari there and he sold out the whole place. And
oh
you're
my
like,
gosh, I love
what
him.
is happening here, right? Like, it's incredible. So yeah, Dave Chappelle at Toyota Center is going to be awesome as well. All right, Brooke, what do you got for us next?
Yeah. So up next, a venue that I think is just becoming more and more popular every month is Post Houston. I think if you haven't made a trek out there, this is the summer to go. They just have so many events coming up, especially for July 4th weekend. I think it's a good spot. They have yoga, which is free, and I've done it before on the Skylon. And, you know, it's in the morning, so it'll be before the real heat hits. And that's happening on July 1st. So a good way to kick off your long weekend. And then if you don't want to go to the Freedom Over Texas celebration, if you just kind of want to avoid the crowds, they're offering their roof as a place to see the fireworks. So I think that's just a good spot for people who maybe just don't want to, you know, be around a lot of people for 4th of July. There still will probably be a good amount at Post, but then you can eat at Post, go downstairs, check out their food court, and then go upstairs and see the fireworks. But all summer long, they have events. Every week, I just see things that I want to go to that they have, and a lot of them are free. So just continue to check out their events calendar, mark it on your to-do list, and just go to Post Houston if you haven't.
Yeah, that's a really good one. But I always recommend make sure you take all your Instagram pictures first and then do yoga, because then you're gonna look like a sweaty mess, and you're gonna look. You want to look good for the first few snaps, right? So you gotta look good for the Instagram post, because it's such an Instagrammable place.
Oh, it is.
You want to take full advantage of that, right?
No,
all right,
totally.
Olivia, let's get 2 more. So let's get your next one.
Okay, so this is a kind of a good news, bad news event. The bad news first. Tuts had to reschedule Wicked. They had to push it back. COVID is still affecting lots of theater companies, lots of performance companies all around the world. And this was one of those COVID situations where they had to delay their starting date. And the good news is that because they delayed their starting date, it's still running. Okay, it's going to be running until July 2nd.
Oh, wow.
I've seen this production of Wicked. And yeah, Wicked's not a brand new show, but it is a powerful show. And you know what you're getting. You're getting a really great, solid 2 hours of wonderful music, wonderful performances, lots of fantasy. Of course, Wicked is the retelling of The Wizard of Oz with alternate takes on how the good witch, Glinda, and the evil witch of the West, Elphaba, got their starts. And uniformly, it's a wonderful cast. These are difficult songs to sing, so you cannot put weak singers in any spot. But Olivia Valli, who does Elphaba, is freaking phenomenal, guys. I am so impressed with this young woman. She just takes it all to another level.
That's
I
awesome.
was in tears, the whole, and these are songs, of course, that we've all heard lots and lots of times. This is a show we're familiar with. So for a cast to be able to move you to tears, to really say, God, that was how theater should be, is impressive. And you've got to see them there until July 2nd. So go check them out. I can't recommend this performance enough.
That's a really good one. I've been seeing a lot of friends on Instagram going, and everyone's been raving about it. So yeah, definitely take advantage of that. Brooke, what do you got next for us?
Yes, I love Wicked. It's one of my favorites. You're adding it to my list,
Oh, good.
Olivia. So for me, this is another reason why you should subscribe to Hey Houston, the newsletter. I put in the newsletter this week, and I highly recommend you guys go to a drive-in movie. I feel like it takes us back in time. We're not going to just our regular movie theater. We have some really cool movie theaters in Houston, not going to lie. But going to a drive-in movie is the perfect summer activity. It's really fun to just go. A lot of them are going to be, at sunset in the evening. So it's cooler. And a lot of the ways that the drive-in movies are set up now is that you get headsets and you can just plug it in your car or tune into that radio station. So you're still getting that air conditioning. And so my recs are Showboat. I went to Showboat out in Hockley, Texas, which sounds farther than it is. It's about a 40-minute drive. But it's another thing that's worth the drive because you kind of feel like you're going on a little mini escape out of Houston, and it's a little adventure. And then they also show movies that are current. So you can see movies, for instance, just back-to-back showings for only $10. And movie tickets are just getting more and more expensive. So you get 2 movies for the price of a lot cheaper than you would at any movie theater, honestly, in Houston. If you don't want to make the drive to Hockley, then go to Moonstruck in East Downtown. I'm putting that on my list for this summer. I've never been, but I've heard so many good things, honestly, since COVID times, because I know a lot of people were trying out drive-in movies then. So that is another place that also offers really great movies. They're open 7 days a week, and just add it to your list. Add it to your list for the summer.
I like that. And the best part about going to a drive-in theater is you don't have people walking in front of you. Nobody's trying to serve chicken tenders. And let me tell you, I went and watched The Flash. Okay, I was so pumped to watch this movie. And the entire time, I went to one of those theaters that, has food, the recliners, all that good stuff.
Yes.
And I got so annoyed. I was like, please, can we stop serving chicken tenders right now? Please. Can we just watch the movie?
And it's really is your own private experience for the drive-in, because you're just with the people that you want to be with, whether it's your family, whether it's like your significant other, whether it's just your friends. Like, you don't have any outside distractions. So I think if you don't want to have like chicken tenders in your face walking in front of you during movie, then try a drive-in movie theater.
And it's so much easier to tell your family members or friends to stop talking than a random person, right? So, because that happened to me, and I was like, okay, can we not every scene? Can we not dissect it right now? Can we do this after, please? So, yeah, I like that pick a lot. Okay, last one, Olivia, what do you got?
Another personal favorite of mine is the Apollo Chamber Players. And this is a small cultural group. They've been at Carnegie Hall. They've been in Cuba. They've been all over at Kennedy Center. And it's a local Houston group that's just grown and grown and grown. And it's a quartet originally, but they bring in people for each concert almost. And this particular performance is called Trace of Time. It's over at Miller Outdoor Theater. It's August 26th. And it's just a journey connecting the evolution of tango.
That's cool.
Everybody loves tango, right? And they're going to be having tango dancers as well. They have a Latin Grammy Award-winning composer, Hector Del Curto. He's done some stuff with this and performance showcases. It's just a really great little group that Houston has. This is a Houston treasure, I think.
Love that.
And to be able to see them for free, as opposed to having to go to Carnegie Hall or the Kennedy Center to go see them. Well, not quite free. You have to pay for it by sitting in the heat a little bit.
Love that. Small price to pay to see greatness. All right, Brooke, your last recommendation. What do you got?
Yes. I also love just that we have so many world-class musicians that come to Houston and we just have it in our own backyard. It's so nice, guys. So my last rec is going rollerblading at Derry Ashford Roller Rink. This is a place that I used to go all the times, throwing it back to birthday parties that I had growing up. But I have so many friends lately that want to go rollerblading as adults. It's like there's a new thing happening again. I don't know if we're trying to relive our childhood or what, but I highly recommend going to Derry Ashford Roller Rink. It's air conditioned. It's your way of like getting some exercise in, but also having fun with your friends. They have good music playing. And they also have adult skate nights on Thursday nights. That's 21 and up. So if you're just looking for adults only fun, you want to have a party with your friends, or you just want to go, no kids at the roller rink, that's a good night to go. But also it's a really fun family friendly activity. So if you want to grab your kids or just other loved ones and have a day to yourselves, I think the Derry Ashford Roller Rink is a great place. I have had so many good memories there. So love it.
We went last year. My sister-in-law did her birthday party there, and we had so much fun. And I didn't do rollerblading because I wasn't that brave, but I just put on the old traditional four skates.
Yes.
And they have plenty of those little assistants, right?
Yeah.
So that's the best part, right? You can just grab some of those and feel confident. So I like that. Relive the childhood a little bit. Good recommendation there. Olivia, Brooke, thank you so much. We have a great plan now to enjoy the summer, whether it be inside or outside. So I appreciate it. It's going to be a lot of fun for the rest of the summer.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Always good to be with you guys. Thank you.
Yes, thanks for having us, Raheel.
That was Olivia Flores Alvarez and Brooke Lewis. Follow the link in our show notes to read all of Olivia's work at Outsmart Magazine. And of course, subscribe to Hey Houston to get more recommendations from Brooke. And be sure to check out our show notes for all of the events we talked about. Before we go, let me add one more thing to do during the summer. I'm a huge bargain hunter, and one of my favorite places to visit is the Cypress Outlet off of 290. Well, fellow bargain hunters, rejoice because GameStop and Fabletics are also opening up at the outlets. They're joining other big brands like Coach, Tory Burch, Lululemon, Gap, Nike, and so many other stores. Here's to staying cool inside those stores and finding some hot summer deals. That will do it for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new.
But sorry guys, I need to start over. I just lost my train of thought.